Okay, the heart quiz, part two. Let's start with number one. Which imbalance would most likely present as a flat, sad voice?
Heart shui imbalances.
Yeah, heart deficiency imbalances. Which of the following is not a possible cause of excessive joyfulness leading to heart imbalance?
Chronic cold exposure.
In the context of the three treasures, which organ is associated with Tsing?
Kidney.
Which statement best captures the relationship between Tsing and Shen?
Jing activates Shen and is the material base from which Shen is created.
Okay, so it's just a saying, kidney and heart, diba? Zinc is
Mm.
stored by the kidney. Yeah, the heart is the residence of the shen. All emotions are in themselves just movements of qi. Which of the following follows directly from this premise?
The mind assigns positive or negative associations to emotion.
An artificially happy voice with constant nervous giggling indicates which condition?
Heat in the heart.
Which organ's yang is said to rise upwards when anger occurs?
Liver.
Shen makes us aware of sensory impressions. Which organ is given as an example of a sensory organ whose function requires Shen for awareness?
Ears. Kidney.
What is the primary role of propriety in traditional Chinese society?
To sustain social and cosmic order throughout appropriate rituals.
Which of the following best describes the nature of Shen in relation to yin and yang?
Shen is the most young from of a young form of qi anchored by yin aspects which is shui.
Yeah, such as blood. Which condition is associated with blood deficiency or shui shu?
Insomnia.
Excessive pleasure weakens which specific aspect of the heart?
Heart qi.
Which statement reflects the effect of long-term emotional imbalance?
It will over time damage the heart.
Which of the following statements about Shen's timeless nature is accurate?
Shen is infinite and cannot be measured.
The ethereal spirit, or Hun, primarily resides in which organ during the day?
Eyes.
At night, Hun returns to which organ for anchoring?
Liver.
Which acupuncture point is associated with Hun's exit from the body at death?
Do 20.
So you have to keep on stimulating. You have to
Keep on
really
stimulating do 20.
N- y- um yeah, if you are weak, you stimulate it. If you are like hyperactive, you sedate it. Okay. So in the context of REM sleep, why do the eyelids flutter?
Hun has rise to the eye.
Which spirit is described as the animal or corporeal spirit and ensures physical reflexes?
Po.
Po is characterized as yin and is closely related to which foundational substance?
Jeng.
The spleen's Shen aspect, E, is primarily responsible for which mental function?
Intellectual focus and digestion of information.
Which organ's Shen aspect is linked to the willpower concept called Tsu?
Kidneys.
A deficiency in which substance most directly impairs short-term memory?
Jing.
Short-term, huh? Qing. The kidney. The relationship between heart and kidneys exemplifies the interaction of which elemental pair?
Fire and water.
Which organ C nourishes the heart's fire, thereby influencing Shen?
Kidney yin.
When Hun is agitated and unanchored, which of the following phenomena may occur?
Out of body experience.
Po is said to experience pain but not suffering because pain is
An experience while suffering is a response.
which channel connects the heart to the uterus?
Bao mai.
What is the name of the channel that links the kidneys and the uterus?
Bao lo.
Tian Kui, or heavenly water, is described as
Foundation of fertility and
fecundity.
fecundity.
Fecundity. In the heart-lung relationship, which element moves the other?
Qi moves shui.
Which specific type of qi produced by the lung does the heart rely on for circulating blood?
Zong Qi.
In the governmental analogy, what titles are assigned to the heart and the lung respectively?
Heart Emperor, lung Prime Minister.
What primary function does the liver have regarding blood?
Regulates and store shui.
What is the effect of liver heat on the heart's blood?
Creates heat in the heart.
Which organ is said to create Qu Qi and serve as the root of shui?
Spleen.
What three factors are essential for normal blood circulation?
Vigorous heart Qi, sufficient volume of blood, unobstructed vessels.
Which pulse quality indicates vigorous heart qi and sufficient blood volume?
Regular and strong pulse.
Which deficiency is associated with night sweating?
Heart yin deficiency.
Profuse sweating that damages the heart yang is linked to a deficiency of which organ?
Heart yang deficiency.
Which meridian is the tongue internally connected to in traditional Chinese medicine?
Heart meridian.
What does a rosy complexion combined with rosy tongue indicate about the heart's condition?
Heart functions well and blood is plentiful.
A pale tongue and pale complexion are diagnostic of which heart condition?
Deficient heart blood.
Which tongue manifestation is specifically linked to heart fire flaring up?
Red tip of the tongue or ulceration on the tongue body.
When heart fire flares, what color change is observed on the face?
Red.
Stagnant heart blood most commonly presents a switch tongue coloration.
Dark or purplish.
Which complexion hue accompanies stagnant heart blood?
Dark and purplish.
Dysfunction in housing mind is manifested on the tongue as what?
Stiff or curly tongue.
Why does the tongue's color and luster reflect heart function?
Because many blood vessels are present on the tongue and face.
Which tongue condition is directly linked to a deficiency of heart blood?
Pale tongue.
Which facial and tongue appearance pair correctly matches heart fire condition?
Red face and red tip of the tongue.
Which organ is described as the ultimate yang organ and assigned the role of emperor in the internal hierarchy?
Heart.
What is the primary function of the heart shen in relation to the universal shen or Tao?
To act as a refraction of the universal shen.
In Chinese medicine, what specific color does the far aspect of the heart impart to blood?
Red.
Which sensory organ is identified as the sensory organ of the heart?
Tongue.
Transformation of Qu Qi to blood in the heart requires influence of which Qi from another organ?
Yuan Qi from kidney.
The heart's role in Chinese medicine is likened to which Western physiological organ's function?
Heart's blood pumping.
Which organ creates Song Qi that drives the heart circulation of blood?
Lung.
Which symptom would most directly indicate a heart imbalance from a diagnostic viewpoint?
Palpitations.
In terms of the hierarchy of internal organs, what happens when the emperor is weak or demented?
Chaos arises in the body and mind.
Heat's tendency to ascend affects which part of the body most directly, making the heart vulnerable?
Upper jaw.
Which of the following is not a function of the heart?
Produces bile.
The heart's relationship to which pair is described as a classic yin-yang relationship, where the yin aspect nourishes and controls the yang aspect?
Heart shui and shin.
Okay. Which of the following best captures the analogy made between Shen and a Western physiological process?
Shen is like the brain perceiving sensory signals.
Excessive heat agitating the heart is likely to result in which communicative behavior?
Overtalking with irrelevant information.
The heart's sleep virtue is propriety. Which other organ sleep is traditionally associated with righteousness in the five elements theory?
None. Li is unique to the heart.
Excessive or persistent sweating has what effect on blood?
It weakens the blood.
Yeah, it weakens the blood. Yeah. So you will have blood deficiency. You can have a heart attack, di ba?
Mm.
At which of the six stages can exogenous sear cold directly invade if a person is cooled while sweating?
Yin.
The heart fluid channel supplies the tongue with which vital substance?
Shui.
When heat resides in the heart or heart fire, which of the following tongue manifestations is most likely?
Blisters and ulcers.
The heart sensory organ contrasts with other sensories with other organ sensory organs. What structural characteristic is attributed specifically to the heart sensory organ?
It is solid and should remain empty.
What is a typical speech characteristic of a person with heart chi stagnation?
Taciturn and reserved.
Okay, remember that. Heart chi stagnation, taciturn, and reserved.
Mm.
Actually, he doesn't want to speak at all, and he tries to control the conversation or the
Ah,
question. Which combination best explains yin-yang relationship between blood and xinye? Because these are both yin.
mm. Jinyi can be transformed into Shui, and Jinyi turns Shui.
Yeah, thins blood. The heart's influence on facial color is especially noticeable because of the superficial nature of what anatomical feature.
Blood vessels.
Which organ is not listed among those involved in fluid physiology but is emphasized as having the overall responsibility for controlling what?
Heart.
When heat ascends, which anatomical region of the body is most directly affected due to its
Heart.
location? Yeah, in the upper
Oh.
jaw.
Chest and heart area.
Which organ provides a conscious awareness of anger?
Heart.
Conscious awareness, no? So you are
Mm.
aware that you are angry. Excessive joy weakens which specific form of heart chi?
Heart chi deficiency. Two.
The triadic correspondence of Qing, Qi, and Shen is likened to which cosmic trio?
Earth, men, heaven.
Which color is explicitly stated as not being used at traditional Chinese weddings?
White.
A voice described as artificially happy indicates which heart condition?
Heart deep.
When anger arises, which organ yang is said to rise upwards?
Liver.
Shen is anchored by which yin aspect of the body?
Shui. Blood.
The claim that all emotions are movements of qi parallels which Western medical concept?
Autonomic nervous system activation.
Which of the following is not a trigger for uncontrolled excessive joy that may imbalance the heart?
Chronic insomnia.
The Shen is likened to which Western anatomical structure?
Brain.
So now you understand why Alzheimer's or dementia is very common in people with heart issues, no? Mm.
Mm.
So take care of your heart.
Mm.
What vocal characteristic is most directly associated with the heart deficiency imbalance?
Flatness and sadness.
Originally, Li was defined as which of the following?
Court rights.
One can perceive another Shen without direct contact. Which scenario matches this description?
Knowing a stranger is angry without being told.
Okay, have you experienced this?
Yeah.
Which substance specifically anchor and nourish the heart Shen? What's your answer?
Heart shui and heart yin.
What unique attribute distinguishes Shen from Po and Hun in terms of its relationship to time?
Shen is timeless and formless.
Hun is closely linked to which two fundamental substances in the body?
Qi and shui.
Okay. Qi is associated with willpower and memory. Memory problems arise when which substance is weakened?
Jing.
If kidney yin is deficient, what is the downstream effect on heart fire?
Uh, Heart fire will not be controlled.
When Hun rises toward heaven, Po responds by
sinking into the ground.
which acupuncture point is sometimes cited as an alternative entrance and exit for Po alongside the rectum.
UB42.
The liver's Hun creates visions both while awake and asleep, which pathological condition of the liver disrupts this function, leading to excessive dreaming.
Weak liver yin or heart heat in the liver.
Through which channel does heart yang fire travel to transform in Qing in the Pao?
Bao mai.
Which statement best describes interdependence of qi and blood between the heart and the lung?
Heart qi and the zong qi are used by the heart to drive shui to the vessels, and heart shui nourishes the lung.
Which function of the lung's po is highlighted as a means to calm an agitated shen?
Regulating rhythmic beating.
If shen becomes agitated, what happens to hun?
Hun begins to wander.
Which ocular sign is associated with heat agitated shen?
Restless, darting eyes.
In TCM, which organ is described as the root of blood because it creates kuchi?
Spleen.
Which pulse description corresponds to deficient heart qi and blood?
Steady and weak pulse.
Tiankui, the foundation of fertility, is created when heart yang fire flows down through its channel.
Bao mai.
Why does heat from the liver rapidly affect the heart?
Proximity causing upward rise of heat.
Which organ's qi is essential for the heart to circulate blood rhythmically through the vessels?
Lung zong qi.
In modern biochemical terms, which relationship most closely parallels heart-lung interaction of qi moving blood?
Cardiac output delivering oxygenated blood driven by the pulmonary circulation.
Which tongue characteristic directly indicates excess of heart fire?
Tongue tip will be red.
In TCM, pale complexion combined with pale tongue most likely signifies which condition?
Deficient heart blood.
Which statement accurately reflects the anatomical link described between the tongue and the heart?
The tongue is connected to the heart meridian interiorly.
Which tongue appearance associates with stagnant heart blood?
Dark or purplish tongue.
A stiff or curly tongue may indicate dysfunction in?
Dysfunction in housing mind.
Which combination of signs would suggest that the heart's function is optimal?
Rosy complexion and rosy tongue.
Abundant blood vessels on the tongue and face serve what diagnostic purpose?
They allow the tongue to be facial color to reflect heart function.
Which of the following is not a tongue manifestation of heart-related pathology?
Purple spots on tongue.
Relating TCM concepts to Western pathology, a heart fire flare may correspond to which clinical condition?
Hyperthyroidism.
So now you know heart fire flare or heart fire blazing, that's hyperthyroidism. The term heart fire most closely aligns with which of the following TCM descriptors?
Excess heat in the heart meridian.
If a patient presents with purplish tongue and dark complexion, which underlying TCM diagnosis is most appropriate?
Stagnant heart blood.
Which statement best captures holistic view of the heart in TCM?
It encompasses both cardiovascular function and aspects of the nervous system.
Changes in which bodily region are primary visual indicators of heart health?
Tongue and facial complexion.
Okay. Aphasia could be an external manifestation of which internal TCM imbalance?
Dysfunction in housing mind.
Which of the following would most likely be observed in a patient with adequate heart blood but excessive heart fire?
A red tongue tip with ulceration on the tongue body and flushed face.
Congratulations. Perfect. Okay.
Thank you.